If you're anything like me, you probably love sitting next to a fire. And to have a fire, you need to chop some wood. So let's get right into it. We need to make an axe or a hatchet. So what we're going to do is we're going to start with the axe head. That way we can follow along and fit the handle to the size of the axe head. And I actually ended up using a reference picture because even though I know what it looks like, in my head it came out so ugly. So I had to go in and actually look at a couple examples. But anyways, let's go ahead and use that spline to finish up our sketch. Let's center it with that center point so we have it right there, and adjust it as we see fit. So what we're going to do after that is make sure it's a closed sketch and extend it or extrude it and work on that. So we're going to make it sharper, and if you've seen my other videos, you know I like to extend that, make it a little bit longer. It looks more natural than just a 45-degree angle. So we made a sharper angle, and then we're going to fillet that edge just to make a smooth transition, as axes typically do. That way it slides right into that wood. And I like to match up to the line, if you've seen there on the left center, just because I like it. It doesn't have to be that way. But anyways, let's go ahead and also make room for that handle. And what we need to do is just rotate the axe head just slightly. And we don't really have a center access point, so we're just going to find a random one that works by selecting that edge and then rotating it slightly. As you can see here, let's just do 5 degrees. We don't need too much because this axe is not going to be a giant one. This is not a war axe, this is just a hatchet. So let's go ahead and mirror our piece on each other. And after we have that done, we're going to go ahead and fillet those edges. Since the axe head is almost done, just choose something that looks good in your opinion. Again, this is your project, you decide. This is not specified by a customer. But anyways, we're also going to offset the edges since we're going to make room for that handle. And just select the whole piece. You don't have to click individual lines when you need the whole thing. And that looks sturdy enough. And we're going to move down the line there, and we're going to mirror the sketch over since we didn't union our project yet. Okay, and you're going to run into an issue sometimes where it doesn't want to click because there's multiple edges there, or just whatever other issue. Let me show you a trick that you can use when this happens, in case you ever need to know. So what you can do is you select the sketch, you choose a center access point, you click copy, and you go ahead and rotate that over 180 degrees, and you have a sketch on the same plane, basically mirrored. But this is just an alternative method. So go ahead and cut down the space to make the handle, and then we're going to go ahead and put that handle down. And this is a little bit different than the typical axe you might find at Home Depot or Lowe's, whatever. I'm going to make it a little bit fancier. So the handle is not all the way down, just slightly, and we're going to go ahead and chamfer that edge to give it like a sturdy handle. Chamfer it again to make that additional angle, just like I did on the axe head. Again, just choose what looks good. You can always either adjust later or redo it. But then if you try to push it down, as you can see, it closes that model. So we need to actually use a tool, and that tool is called Extrude, just to bring it down. So there we go. Now we choose the right size, and I think 80 should be good. Yeah, okay. And that looks pretty good already. Let's go ahead and adjust those edges right away because this is almost done. So we're gonna do these adjustments like fillets, just because typically you would save that all the way until the end, but we kind of are at the end since this is a small project. This is just a small hatchet. So let's go ahead and line those up as well. I like to make it the same as much as possible. Sometimes you have to make a different size just to look the same, but in this case it looks pretty much the same. And then just that final touch, just to make it look good there, because it looked a little too flat for my liking. And let's go see what it looks like in visualization. I always enjoy this part because it makes it look a little real. And obviously the axe head has to be metal, so they're typically a silver metal. So let's choose steel. And then for the wood, they're usually a light wood, so we'll choose this, but I don't know, it looks pretty good. We'll go for that with that for now. And if you guys are hearing my super tired voice, it's because I have super long days at work, and I usually make these videos at night when I should be sleeping, so don't bother. But anyways, if you notice, that edge looked a little sharp, so we're gonna go ahead and fillet that as you run across. And then let's go ahead and union this as well, because it shouldn't be split at this point. And then once that's done, let's go ahead and hide the sketch, and we're gonna do some finishing details, which I have to remind you are very hard to edit, so make sure that when you do them you won't change your mind, just an FYI. So fillet those edges. Let's make it a small one just to make it look good. And go ahead and finish the other edges, make it all the same. And also on the bottom, let's choose a couple more edges, that way it gets the whole thing for sure this time. And that's nice, it looks nice. So let's go ahead and also I want to make it a little bit more stylish, so we're going to go ahead and offset this handle, and we need a line right there where that hatchet head ends. So we're going to go ahead and project that little edge right there onto the bottom, and once we do that, we select it and we move it down, just so we have that wrong edge, but we move it down and select the reference point, and I'm going to go ahead and cut into the handle because I think this will look nice. And yeah, let's go ahead and fillet the inside edges just for structural integrity, I guess. And sometimes those edges are hard to get, so go ahead and zoom in and give it a couple tries, and I just work with what looks good. I think we can probably go a little bit bigger because that looks small. That's too much. Perfect. Okay, let's go ahead and do the next one. It's the same way. And the last, let's make both of those, I guess. Although, to be honest, that looks like it's too skinny. So what we're gonna do is delete those, or undo, and move it over so that we have a stronger part. And then we're gonna fillet the edges, and yeah, that looks way better. So now we have a sturdy axe, and let's go ahead and finish up in visualization again. I think I want to change the color to a darker brown, just because this looks more, I don't know, it looks more like it should. But also, on a final note, that handle looks a little bit fake, so I want to go ahead and extend it, or rather resize it, make it bigger. And sometimes if you don't choose the right edge, it won't act right, so make sure you choose the right edge, basically. And once it's resized, let's see from the side, that's really nice. That looks more realistic. I really like this one. So I think I'm gonna say this is finished. I hope you had fun following along, making your own axe or hatchet. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And I will see you guys in the next one. All right, bye-bye.